Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
Millions along the Gulf Coast are under a flash flood warning today as Tropical Depression Barry continues to drop a significant amount of rain today and throughout the week.
And as utilities around the state begin public safety power shutoffs, Kern County officials are working on a plan in case we find ourselves without electricity.
And today is Amazon Prime's biggest day of the year. We'll take a look at some of the deals that are out there. And a good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in to 23 ABC News at 4:30 on this Monday. I'm Mike Hart.
I'm Danielle Kernkamp. Let's bring in Emma Lockhart, who is in for Elena Rusk this morning with a quick check of your forecast after a warm weekend. Is that an understatement? Yeah.
All I know is that on the drive-in this morning, it was 78.
Yeah, it was warm.
It's
Come
already
on.
hot. It's going to be
Seriously?
another hot one. Triple digits are expected, but thankfully a cool down is on the way and our air quality is improving. We had a few days of unhealthy air quality for sensitive groups, hazy conditions, so thankfully that is improving. 73 right now in Bakersfield, 6 degrees cooler than it was at this time yesterday. The temperatures across the county warm right now, mid 60s to mid 70s in some areas of the valley. 70 right now at the Grapevine, 70 in Frazier Park, 63 right now in Pine Mountain Club, 63 in Tehachapi, 77 in Lake Isabella, and 77 out in Mojave. Thankfully, we're going to see those wind speeds start to pick up later on this afternoon through the evening, so that'll be somewhat of a relief to that heat. But yeah, thankfully, cooler temperatures are on the way. I'll have more details on those conditions you can expect throughout the week coming up.
Now a tropical depression, Barry is dumping rain on the Gulf Coast. Even as the storm weakens, some Americans could see severe storms as that system slowly churns north.
Meantime, the mayor of New Orleans says the city avoided disaster. Reporter David Daniel has a look at the latest conditions.
Tropical Storm Barry sparing New Orleans.
We absolutely made it through the storm. Beyond lucky, we were spared.
Tropical Storm Barry is weakening as it pushes inland. It was a hurricane when it made landfall Saturday, though it was quickly downgraded as it weakened over land.
It seemed as those bands moved closer to New Orleans. It seemed to just go around us.
But forecasts warn more rain is on the way.
This storm still has a long way to go before it leaves the state.
Rescue crews worked through the weekend. The U.S. Coast Guard airlifted residents to safety as floodwaters surrounded their homes on Saturday. In Terrebonne Parish, crews shored up the levee after floodwaters topped it.
The people are very well protected. We had no flooding in here. First time, we've never had 9 foot of water where these people haven't gone underwater. I mean, it's a great day for Terrebonne that these levees do work.
Forecasts show days of rain are ahead. 11 million people were under flash flood watches on Sunday. Some could see severe weather as Barry continues to push inland. I'm David Daniel reporting.
All right, and we want to let you know about an earthquake that we're learning about this morning. It happened about 1:38 this morning near Coso Junction, which is about 30 miles near Ridgecrest. Of course, this is one of the many aftershocks that's been experienced out in that area since the July 4th and the July 5th earthquakes. Right now, we don't know about any damage or injuries that have been reported, but we'll continue to keep an eye on this for you.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. A sheriff's deputy is on the mend after he was stabbed by a knife-wielding suspect. The attacker was then shot by the deputy and remains in the hospital this morning, shortly after 3 o'clock Sunday morning. A Kern County Sheriff's deputy responding to a call, and according to the KCSO, the family told the department that one of their family members had a knife. The deputy by himself just after 4 a.m. when the man charged at him and cut his arm. The deputy then drew his weapon and shot the man. Both were taken to a local hospital. At last word, the suspect was listed in critical condition with major wounds. The deputy is recovering from a moderate stab wound. According to KCSO, the deputy by himself is normal for a suspicious activity call.
Tomorrow, the Kern County Board of Supervisors is expected to hear a presentation on the county's response plan for public safety power shutoffs. We're in the midst of wildfire season, and utility companies like PG&E and SoCal Edison are already implementing these shutoffs as a precaution. Last month, the county's emergency council formed a team to develop a response plan for consequences of a sustained power outage throughout the county. That team has devised a plan, and now they want to bring it before the board and for approval and implement any recommendations. This presentation will be open to the public tomorrow at the Board of Supervisors office at 1115 Truxtun Avenue at 9 a.m.
Speaking of utilities, SoCalGas is bringing a new regional base to Bakersfield, and it opens today. That new base and training center will be located on McMurtry Avenue in Oildale. The 31,000 square foot building will be one of SoCalGas's main bases and bring clean, affordable natural gas to Bakersfield, Kern County, and parts of the San Joaquin Valley. There will be a fueling center available for public use beginning in the fall. The grand opening is happening this morning at 11 a.m.
New details in a massive oil spill in the Kern County Canyon. State regulators are calling out Chevron this morning, saying the company has not done enough to prevent future spills from occurring. Since May, nearly 800,000 gallons of oil and water have been dumped into the canyon, just 35 miles west of Bakersfield. Chevron says when the flow was noticed, they immediately notified the appropriate regulatory agencies. The company also said the flow has been stopped and contained, and that there has been no impact on waterways or wildlife. However, now regulators are taking a further step by ordering the company to take further actions to prevent future spills and stop steam injections around the spill.
Well, hailed as the Super Bowl of online shopping, today is Amazon Prime Day and so is Tuesday. The 5th annual Amazon Prime Day will run a full 2 days this year. There's all sorts of stuff that's going to be discounted. You have clothing, technology, toys, more technology. And if you don't see what's in your cart being discounted yet, don't worry, because Amazon says it's going to launch new deals as frequently as every 5 minutes. The company's global sales for the 48-hour Prime Day are estimated to hit $5.8 billion. Amazon is facing increased competition, though, because rival retailers, including Walmart, Best Buy, Target, and eBay, they've had years of practice perfecting their Prime Day strategies, and they're rolling out discounts of their own this year. More than 250 retailers are planning deals today as well.
And scammers are out in full force as Prime Day starts this morning. The major way they're out to steal information is through emails. They typically look just like an Amazon email, and they'll offer deals or say you have to verify your information. Some experts say to avoid any possible issues by never clicking those email links. Another thing to watch out for is coupon codes that could send you to a scam site. These might also be in those emails that we just mentioned. Hover over the link and look for typos in the web address or anything that might look a little bit off. Finally, beware of the gift card scam. If anyone asks you to pay a debt with an Amazon gift card, don't do it. That always applies. You can report any suspicious activity to the FTC.
Well, today is the first day in a summer-long series of Junior Police Academy sessions. The Bakersfield Police Department teaming up with the Police Activities League to provide kids ages 14 to 17 with a foundation of law enforcement skills while helping them to become productive members of the community. These sessions will focus on leadership, accountability, and problem solving in a fun and educational environment. These sessions run from now through August.
If you're looking for something to keep the kids busy this summer, then head on over to the Kern County Museum for their weekly Camp Discover. Every Monday this summer, a new camp kicks off at the museum. It's open to children ages 5 to 10. Themes include earth, culture, art, and much more. You get to even take part in fun and education activities and crafts that are geared towards building positive friendships. The camp is running until August 5th. They are currently accepting registration for their July 29th camp. We have a link to register to that on our website, turnto23.com.
If you're looking for an event that whole family can enjoy while the sun's going down, stay calm, head to our local zoo. You can make your way to the California Living Museum for Twilight at Calm. They're inviting the public to come out between 5 and 8 p.m. every day through August 24th. You can bring a picnic dinner, enjoy a little time with loved ones and the animals, although you can't dine in the enclosure. Sorry, Danielle.
Oh,
I know. Admission's just $5 for adults, $3 for kids between 3 and 12. Maybe they'll change the rules one day, but not now. Gonna be a little warm to be having dinner outside, isn't it?
Yeah, a little hot for that. But thankfully, we're seeing light wind speeds right now, but they look like they'll be picking up later today. So breezy conditions across the county, especially through our mountain passes. Those temperatures warm. We're going to be heating up throughout the day. Reaching those 80s by 8 a.m., low 90s by noon, and then by 2 p.m. we'll be at 97, reaching the triple digits by 4 p.m. And that's when we could see those wind speeds start to pick up, possibly 15-mile-per-hour gusts here in the valley, and then still in the triple digits by 6 p.m. So it's going to be another hot one. Thankfully, our air quality improving now in the moderate range with a forecasted AQI of 90. So hopefully those hazy conditions will improve as well. But widespread triple digits expected across the valley floor. 100 here in Bakersfield, 95 at the Grapevine today. Over in our mountain communities, we're looking at the upper 80s in some areas like Fraser Park and Tehachapi, mid 90s in Lake Isabella. Out in our desert cities, hot out there as well, upper 90s reaching the triple digits in areas like Lancaster and California City, as well as Ridgecrest. But we are tracking more seasonal conditions throughout the week. I'll have details on that cool down coming up.
Still to come, you've heard of fingerprinting, but have you ever heard of snout recognition? Yeah, it's a thing. We'll tell you about this new tech that's reuniting lost dogs with their owners.
And a couple of stars hugging it out on the big stage. A special reunion at a concert that had the audience over the moon. Just did to play me drums. 441. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming right back.
Welcome back to 23 ABC. No major traffic incidents to report at this time, but there's one lane closed on northbound on the 99 near the 58 due to construction, just causing some slowing at this time, but nothing major. We'll be monitoring your traffic throughout the morning, so stay with us.
American Airlines announced it is canceling flights into early November over the grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX planes. The world's largest airline said Sunday it's extending the cancellations until November 2nd, which amounts to about 115 flight cancellations a day. It previously canceled flights through September 2nd. The airline said it's confident that coming software updates and new training elements will lead to the aircraft being recertified this year. The plane was grounded in March, if you remember, after 2 fatal crashes. The Federal Aviation Administration and safety regulators around the world have not yet cleared it to return to the air. Last month, a new potential problem with the jet was also discovered during testing. American has 24 of Boeing's best-selling 737 MAX jets in its fleet.
Snout recognition is reuniting lost dogs and their families. A startup called Megvii says just like how humans have unique fingerprints, dogs have unique nose prints. The startup says the tech works 95% of the time and has helped 15,000 pets end up back at home. It's easy to use. You just take pictures of the dog's snout from different angles, like you're setting up Face ID on an iPhone, right? So the startup says the technology will also help keep track of owners who did not pick up after their dogs or who let their dogs run around off the leash. It's very interesting.
So people that habitually do that, you think they're going to use snout recognition?
Mike, no, that's probably not the intention.
Let's just get a chip.
It's just an added
Put a chip.
Okay, listen to this. A 7-foot gator versus a 75-year-old man. You probably picked the gator to win, but both got away. And this is why, because Buddy Ackerman, he was walking with his golden retriever Ozzy when they came across a gator, and he suddenly found himself in a tug of war over this pup with a 7'7" alligator. Ackerman was finally able to get Ozzy loose after kicking the gator in the snout. Ozzy is okay now, a little bit sore, but he's okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, he really does get by with a little help from his friends. Check this out. Sgt. Pepper. Which one's Sgt. Pepper? Paul McCartney inviting his old buddy and bandmate Ringo Starr to join him during the last stop of his Freshen Up tour at Dodger Stadium Saturday. I know a lot of local people that were there.
Yeah.
McCartney and Starr, the last 2 surviving Beatles, they rocked out on stage to classics like you just heard, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, Helter Skelter, the crowd obviously exploding with enthusiasm when he walked on stage for the reunion.
That is so cool. Yeah. You'll soon be hearing Simba roar in theaters once again as the actors gathered for the world premiere of the live-action film. The world premiere was held at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood. The film, of course, features Donald Glover, who was born in Kern County and is voicing Simba in the film. Beyoncé lends her voice to Nala, and James Earl Jones reprised his role as Mufasa. The Lion King will be in theaters on July 18th.
Mufasa.
Yeah.
2 new movies arrived in theaters over the weekend, taking aim at the 2 big movies on the box office chart. But which pair came out on top?
ABC's Christopher Watson has more on what's happening in Hollywood.
I always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger.
Spider-Man Far From Home easily held on to the top spot at the weekend box office, earning another $45.3 million in week 2 of release. Debuting best of the newcomers is the action horror flick Crawl. $12 million for third place, about what was expected.
I'm Stu. How do you do? Compton.
The comedy Stuber feeling the effect of tepid reviews with a fourth place $8 million opening. Avengers Endgame's now just $7.16 million away from tying Avatar as the all-time box office champ. If it hangs in there, it could surpass Avatar's $2.788 billion global gross in another 2 weeks. Following Saturday's 5-hour power blackout in Manhattan, Jennifer Lopez has rescheduled her canceled sold-out show that night at Madison Square Garden for Monday night.
What's up, New York City?
J. Cole's compilation album Revenge of the Dreamers 3 debuts in the top spot on the Billboard 200 albums chart this week. And Linda Ronstadt, 73 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
And taking a look at those cooler temperatures on the way, we have low pressure that's going to be moving in, so that's going to bring those cooler temperatures throughout the week. They'll be trending slightly cooler by a few degrees, fluctuating here and there, but staying pretty stable. And thankfully, due to the low pressure, we're going to see an increase in wind speeds later on this afternoon, especially in our mountain communities, reaching those 20s in Lake Isabella, Tehachapi, 15 mile per hour winds in Frazier Park, 7 here in Bakersfield later on this evening, potentially seeing gusts as strong as 15 miles per hour. We're going to see those wind speeds staying fairly strong, especially in our mountains as well as deserts through those early morning hours tomorrow. And like I said, cooler temperatures are on the way. Those temperatures not really fluctuating by much, staying pretty stable throughout the week. We should be in the upper 90s for this time of year, so seasonal temperatures are expected for your midweek. And then we start cooling down even more to the mid-90s by the end of the week into your weekend. Sunny skies throughout the week as well. 95 expected in the Kern River Valley today. Then we'll see the low 90s return. However, warming back up to the mid-90s by Wednesday. Low 90s by the end of your week, headed into the weekend. So beautiful there. 87 in Tehachapi today, cooling down to the mid-80s. Looking like those mid-80s will continue through your midweek. 87 in Frazier Park as well, with sunny skies. Mid-80s tomorrow, and those mid-80s will be sticking around headed into Thursday, cooling down even more to the low 80s by the end of the week.
Still to come, a teen in Florida speaking out. After this, we'll tell you her message, her warning that she wants to share with you.
And fish are friends, not food, right? Well, that's the motto for this shark. That's next on 23 ABC.
Welcome back. It's 4:54. A teenager on the mend following a shark attack in Florida. Jackie Josiah's foot was bitten while she was boogie boarding in knee-high water off the coast of Amelia Island on Friday. The 16-year-old said she was, quote, freaking out, ran onto the beach. A friend helped her wrap the injury in a towel and elevate the foot. The bite was near her Achilles tendon. Jackie says she learned a valuable lesson.
The main thing for me was to come out of this was to make sure of your surroundings and to be like knowing of what's happening around you. Because if I had have maybe decided not to go during sunrise, because I found out that that's when the sharks feed during sunrise, and we didn't know that.
Doctors say Josiah can't put any weight on her foot right now for at least 6 weeks. Very lucky.
A shark you can find off the east and west coast that eats its veggies.
Right then, the meeting has officially come to order. Let us all say the pledge. I am a nice shark, not a mindless eating machine.
Researchers found that bonnethead sharks digest about half of the seagrass that they swallow, and they eat fish and crustaceans. They published a study that says it's first discovery of its kind. The bonnethead shark lives in warmer waters off the east and west coasts.
Okay.
Interesting.
Another story out of the ocean. Take a look at this video out of Japan. It turns out this shellfish is a lot like a transformer. The octopus emerging from the seashell, then there it goes, leaping off the boat. It was caught by a fisherman, and this guy just didn't want to stay on the boat. Would you look at that?
No.
Now he's far away from home.
It's kind of gross.
Probably just woke up and went, what am I doing here?
Where am I?
I don't want to be here. Taking a look at your current conditions right now, already warming up here in Bakersfield, 73 degrees, but cooler than it was at this time yesterday, 6 degrees cooler to be exact. Current temperatures across the county warm as well. 71 right now at the Grapevine, 60 in Pine Mountain Club, 64 in Tehachapi, 73 in Lake Isabella, 77 out in Mojave. Thankfully, cooler temperatures, more seasonal temperatures are on the way. Upper 90s for your midweek, then cooling down even more to the mid-90s by the end of the week, headed into your weekend. And we'll see those mid-90s continue headed into next week as well.
Still to come in the next hour, the president taking to Twitter, calling out a number of congresswomen. Tell you how Democrats are responding to his comments. That and much more as we head to the top of the hour. Keep it locked in. This is 23 ABC.